You walk into a room. Maybe it's a party. Maybe it's a coffee shop. Maybe it's just the office on a Monday morning. And the second you step inside, you feel it, that quiet sinking feeling that you've walked into somewhere you don't quite belong. Someone across the room is laughing. Leaning in. Holding attention like it costs them nothing. And your brain, without asking permission, quietly goes, "Not me. Not today. Someone like them could never see someone like me. Why am I even here? Nobody's looking at me. If I just stayed home, I wouldn't have to feel like this." Here's the truth nobody tells you. The version of you that you see in the mirror, the one you've quietly decided is just average, is not the version the room is actually reading. There's a gap between how attractive you think you are and how attractive you're actually coming across. And that gap is costing you more confidence, more connection, more chances than you realize. You're not delusional. You're not broken. You're not behind some line you'll never cross. There's just a blind spot. And by the end of this video, you're going to see exactly what's been sitting in it. Let's get into it. The Mindset Reframe, 105 to 235. Most people believe attractiveness is something you either have or you don't. Something genetic. Something fixed. Like a number stamped on your forehead at birth that the world reads before you even open your mouth. But the real truth is, attractiveness is mostly signal. It's energy. It's presence. It's the way your nervous system moves through a room and quietly tells other nervous systems, "This one is safe. This one is interesting. This one is worth leaning toward." And that means most people are dramatically underestimating what they're putting out into the world. Not because they're arrogant backwards. Because their self-image is stuck on a version of themselves from 5, 10, 15 years ago. And they never updated the file. Here's what changes everything. The signs you're more attractive than you think aren't subtle. They've been happening around you this whole time. You just never had the language to read them. Let's read them now. 1. People remember you longer than you remember them. Most people assume that if someone was interested in them, they'd know it. It would be obvious. It would look like the movies. Lingering looks, bold approaches, someone sliding into their DMs at midnight. But the real truth is, attraction often shows up as memory. Someone brings you up 3 weeks after you met once. Someone laughs a little too hard at something you said. Someone asks about you when you're not in the room. Here's what's happening beneath the surface. When someone is genuinely drawn to you, not just physically, but to your presence, your nervous system leaves an imprint on theirs. You become a sensory event. Your laugh. The way you said something. The way the room felt around you when you were in it. And they don't even know why they're still carrying it. Picture this. You're at a dinner with 8 people. You mention offhand how your mom used to make Sunday breakfast. You forget it by the car ride home. 3 weeks later, a friend from that night texts, "I keep thinking about the breakfast story. I don't know why, it just stuck with me." That's not politeness. That's signal. Her brain is quietly registering, "There's something about them I haven't figured out yet, and I want to." And when you start noticing things like this, the whole story you've been telling yourself about being forgettable starts to fall apart. 2. You make people feel safe without trying. Most people think attractiveness is about looking a certain way, dressing a certain way, having the right features in the right places. But the real truth is, the most magnetic people in any room aren't the prettiest. They're the ones whose nervous system says you can exhale around me. And that quality has nothing to do with bone structure and everything to do with emotional availability. Here's the deeper layer. Safety is rarer than beauty. Almost everyone has been around someone beautiful who felt dangerous. The flirt who doesn't listen. The smile that judges. Your nervous system is wired to detect the difference between someone who's hot and someone who's warm. And when it finds both, it doesn't let go. Imagine 2 people at the same gathering. One walks in glowing, polished, the obvious center of attention. People admire them from a distance. The other walks in quieter. Asks someone a real question. Listens longer than expected. Makes a stranger laugh without trying. By the end of the night, guess whose DMs are full? What's moving through him is, I don't even know why I told them that. I don't tell people that. That's the shift that turns a room from a place you survive into a place you belong. 3. You have a look you don't realize you're giving. Most people assume attraction is something other people do to you. Someone notices. Someone decides. Someone acts. But the real truth is, you are constantly broadcasting microsignals with your face, your posture, your eye contact, your breathing. And most people are sending one signal out of one side of their mouth and a completely different one out of the other. Here's what's happening beneath the conscious layer. Your face is a theater. The way your eyes soften when someone actually talks. The slight tilt of your head when you genuinely listen. The micro-expression that flickers across your mouth before you've decided what to say. People read all of this in milliseconds, way before they ever register what you actually look like. And when those microsignals say I am present, I am interested, I am not performing, something in the other person responds before they can name it. You ever notice how some people, before they even speak, you already feel like you like them? That's not magic. That's two nervous systems talking to each other. You already know who you trust before your logic catches up. And here's what nobody explains: most attractive people don't even know which expression of theirs is doing all the work. They just think they're standing there. Meanwhile, the whole room is quietly leaning in. Something in her is saying, I want to keep talking to this person. 4. You get away with things less attractive people don't. Here's the part no one talks about. Not because you're doing anything clever. Not because you've earned it. Not because you asked for it. But because the room has already made its decision about you before you walk in. Most attractive people, and yes, this includes you, get a kind of social grace they never even asked for. Mistakes get reframed as charming. Awkwardness reads as endearing. Bold words get called confident. The exact same behavior in someone else gets labeled annoying, weird, or too much. But the real truth is, this isn't fairness. It's the halo effect. Your nervous system already decided you were interesting before the words came out. So when the words come out imperfect, your nervous system gives them a pass. Think about it. Two people tell the same joke at a bar. One lands and gets laughed at, high-fived, remembered. The other lands and gets a polite smile and a quick subject change. Same joke. Different reception. Why? The halo is doing the heavy lifting before the punchline even arrives. What's moving through them is, I don't know why I want them to succeed. I just do. And when you start noticing this happening around you, when you start realizing the room keeps handing you free passes you didn't earn, you finally understand just how much your presence has been biasing every interaction you've ever had. 5. People mirror you without realizing it. Most people think attraction flows in one direction, from the attracted to the attractive. Like a one-way current. But the real truth is, attraction is a loop. And you're already running it without knowing. Here's the science beneath it. Mirroring is one of the most primitive signals of human connection. When someone subtly copies your posture, your pace of speech, your hand gestures, the rhythm of your breathing, they are telling your nervous system, I am with you. I am like you. You are safe. And this happens automatically when someone is genuinely drawn to you. You don't have to do anything to trigger it. Your presence is the trigger. Watch someone you're talking to next time the energy between you shifts. Almost without fail, you'll notice they'll start using your words. They'll lean when you lean. Their volume will start matching yours. They're not performing. They're falling into your gravity without realizing it. Something in him is quietly saying, I want to be closer to this person. I don't even know why. That's the shift that turns a stranger into someone who feels like they've known you for years. 6. You almost never get called out for being strange. Here's what most people never notice about themselves as they become more attractive. The world gives you more room to be weird. Your quirks get interpreted as depth. Your passions get called interesting instead of intense. Your silences get read as mysterious instead of awkward. But the real truth is, you've probably been filtering yourself for years. Softening your edges. Dulling your weird. Performing normal so you wouldn't repel anyone. And the second you stop, people lean in further. Not less. This is where it gets really interesting.